I assume you are ready, champion?
What will you do once the mages are dead?
This is not the first time the rite of annulment has ever been invoked. We will do as others have done before us. Start again. Kirkwall will be rebuilt, stronger than before, and the Circle will know fear. This has been a long time coming. I am eager to begin.
Let's get this over with.
Good. You will need to give orders to your companions. Do that and the attack may begin.
I want to help as well, even if I'm not fighting at your side.
Meryl, attack from a distance. Stay out of the fight as much as you can.
I will.
Aveline, charge in whenever you see an opening.
Very well.
Sebastian, I need you somewhere with a good vantage. Cover us while we move in.
May the Maker favor us now.
You know what we face. The mages in there, they have risked everything. All of us. That's not a danger I can ignore. You want peace in Kirkwall? This is where we create it.
Champion, the attack is about to begin. Break it down!
Here they come! Stop them!
That was rather abrupt.
Don't back down!
You're in trouble now!
Better luck in the next one.
I'll do this.
Another one for me! How many have you got, boss? Oh, please. Bianca
Oh. Nice to know they had some of these guys in here waiting for us. The pathfinding here is a little weird. Everyone's just kind of confused. Oh, hey, Meredith.
Have mercy, we beg you. Do whatever you want with us, but let us live.
No! This circle is beyond redemption.
Knight Commander, surely the rite of annulment requires something more...
It requires my word, Cullen. Do as I've commanded.
Champion, will you not defend us? Must we all be slaughtered for the actions of a few?
Maybe they can answer some questions.
I think the first enchanter is still in the tower. He said he had a plan, something that would stop you.
Demons? Or something worse?
I don't know. We wanted nothing to do with it, so we ran. Please, help us. We've done nothing wrong.
I want to hear what the Knight Captain has to say.
The right has always been a last resort, when every mage involved was beyond salvation. When Ferelden's circle was lost, the situation was far worse than this. I can't believe wholesale slaughter is the only answer.
Objection noted, Captain.
Is there a way to tell if they're blood mages?
There is not.
But they haven't resorted to it, even to save their own lives. Perhaps if we watch them carefully, we...
And if they hope to escape by playing innocent, will you accept that responsibility, Cullen?
Yes. I believe that's what being a Templar is about.
And I say we are here to protect the people. We must be judges, jailers, and even executioners.
The time for mercy is over.
Perhaps you're right. Do as the champion commands.
Notice that Meredith doesn't even flinch. Cullen, though, can barely watch. Like I've said before, you can do some pretty horrible things in this as Hawk. One of the worst, in my opinion, is coming up. We will not be doing that, but it's something I just wanted to go ahead and mention.
Tread lightly around here.
Easy as pie. Piece of cake.
Huh. What the? How silly. Okay, Hawk, you can put the weapon away. Abominations, Pride Demons, Sandal. Notice how once again he is here to have us take advantage of his shop. And of course, enchantment! And our storage thing right here as well. Just like in Origins.
How many of you got, Hawk?
Alright. Here we go.
Just just as I suspected all along.
Willing sacrifices! Men and women who would have died at your hands anyhow. The irony is that until this very moment, I have never used blood magic.
Do you take me for a fool? One does not summon such a ritual from thin air.
The right belonged to Quentin, a man the champion is familiar with. I put aside his research as too dangerous. But things have changed.
You were working with that murderer.
I knew about him. I kept his existence secret because I didn't want to give Meredith more ammunition against us.
But you could have stopped him. You could have saved her.
I'm sorry, my dear. I didn't know the extent of his derangement until it was too late.
The Maker has guided us here to end your evil, Orsino.
The Maker has guided you all to your deaths!
No! You said she wouldn't be hurt!
I'm sorry, child, but true justice demands sacrifice from us all.
So, do you guys remember the Golems of Amgarak DLC from Origins? Because that's what he just turned himself into. A harvester. Now, it's showing her in the robe now. Why is it a cutscene bug for some reason? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah. So Hawk has just learned, and I also, that's another reason why I was very content with making the choice to have her join the Circle rather than becoming a Grey Warden, because then she's able to be here to actually, not just hear him say that, but react, because she has obviously been spending time with Orsino in the Circle as a mentor. Now she's just learned that this man who she trusted knew about this guy who eventually killed her mother. Also notice that Bethany is now not hostile. She's actually going to be helping us against Orsino here. Yeah, in Origins, this was one of the more awful fights in the game. And it's no different here. It's also incredibly disgusting because, oh my gosh! Also, ew! That was for Leandra.
I can't believe it.
Oh, now she's wearing the robe.
Such is the curse that you carry. Difficult as it may be to accept.
Your insanity drove him to this.
I will not argue with you, Mage. My purpose here is clear.
And I'm just one more abomination to be dealt with. Yes, I see what comes next.
So yes, this is the... You'll notice the choice here. This is the choice that I was hinting at. You can absolutely just let Meredith kill Bethany. You could just be like, yeah, go ahead, kill her. Go ahead and kill my sister. This, to me, is one of the most absolute worst choices in the game. Note, by the way, I want to point out, it's not like you get the same option with Carver. If he, say, joins the Templars and you side with the Mages. It doesn't work that way. There is no even Steven choice here between the two. This is a choice that is specifically only for Bethany because she's a mage. And, of course, the circumstances are, of course, that you side with the Templars and that she joins the Circle. But yeah, you can be like, yeah, go ahead and kill her, and she will, and that'll be it. Bethany will die. And jeez Louise, I cannot bring myself to make that choice. It's so horrible. And as I tried to point out before, and I was setting this up when I was saying this early in the playthrough, is that Hawke, even though she is angry and you know, especially towards mages and magic and all that, she cares about her family more. And even though she is really even more angry about this whole thing because of what she just learned, that Orsino actually inadvertently helped cause Leandra to die, her mother, she's not going to all of a sudden turn on Bethany here. That's why earlier when she was like, you're not making this easy, Bethany. So yeah, no, you're not going to hurt my sister.
Back away from her, Meredith.
I see. Have it your way, then. I will meet you in the courtyard, champion.
Thank you. I don't know if I deserve your help.
You don't think I could lose you, too?
We'd best get out before they lock the doors.
So, Bethany is back. So yeah, we also get his staff here. So she has her default staff, the Staff of the New Growth. You'll notice it's extra elemental damage. It's still the default one. She still has those things I gave her earlier in the playthrough. How about that? Alright, so now I think it's time for her to go ahead and put these pieces on. It actually makes her smaller. Notice that? It actually shrinks her. That's kind of funny, actually. Oh well. Let's think of it this way. There's now no more circle, so it's at this point now it's like Bethany is just no longer part of the circle anymore, so she's just like her own thing back with her sister. So we'll just go ahead and do this to get rid of it. Can't go any higher than 100, so alright. One more save before the true big final battle. Ew. Just ew. Now you would think, oh, okay, so no sandals here is like, hey, you want one last chance to do anything. In fact, let me just double check whether or not there actually is anything here specifically for Bethany. I doubt there is. There apparently is this thing right here. What is this? Storm's Heart. Wait, this isn't for Isabella, is it? I don't think it would be. But let me just double check really quick. There doesn't appear to be another one like it. Because I'm pretty sure I also don't have the one she was wearing before. Which one is this? Oh, that is Isabella. Wait, what? I thought I already gave it to Isabella. Huh. That looks rather weird, right? All of a sudden, it's like, oh, hey, look. Hawke is able to, for a moment, look like Bethany. Or even look like Isabella. Eh. Anyways. You can even have Bethany wear that, lol. Oh, by the way, in case you are wondering, infect with walking bomb. There is the staff that Orsino was using in the cutscenes. So, actually, I can now give Bethany back the staff that I was having her use earlier. Where is it? Here it is. There we go. She's got it back. And of course, it's even stronger now. We'll put that away. Here's the only issue. Because, yeah, I don't have... See, here's one of the other problems. Sandal doesn't have any runes. I guess I could have stored some away here. The problem is I don't have any weapon runes, so I don't have anything for Bethany's staff. That's what I would be wearing if I was playing as a mage until I got the champion set, so looks good on Bethany. Well, it doesn't have runes, but oh well, not a big deal, honestly. Alright. So, does Bethany have everything? No, not yet. There we go. That should help a bit. Here we go, guys.
Look at all this. Magic is a cancer in the heart of our land, just as it was in the time of Andraste. And like her, we are left with no choice but to purify it with fire and blood.
You got what you wanted. It's done.
Not quite. I am beginning to wonder just how large your part in all this actually was. A refugee come to our city with an apostate sister, gathering power and influence without any accounting. How can I trust that the mighty champion of Kirkwall is not a worse threat to this city than the Circle?
Is helping you destroy the Circle not proof enough?
Proof of what? Your lies. Proof that you are more clever even than Orsino. The people of Kirkwall will mourn your loss, but I will tell them you died battling the mages. A righteous cause.
Knight Commander, I thought we intended to arrest the champion.
You will do as I command, Cullen.
No. I defended you when Thrask started whispering you were mad, but this is too far.
I will not allow insubordination. We must stay true to our path.
Andraste's dimpled butt cheeks.
You recognize it, do you not? Your lyrium, taken from the deep roads. The dwarf charged a great deal for his prize.
Turning the idol into a fancy sword won't save you.
All of you! I want her dead!
Enough! This is not what the Order stands for. Knight Commander, step down. I relieve you of your command.
My own Knight Captain falls prey to the influence of blood magic. You all have. You're all weak. Allowing the mages to control your minds, to turn you against me. But I don't need any of you. I will protect this city myself.
You'll have to go through me.
Idiot boy. Just like all the others.
She's lost it, just like Bartrand.
Blessed are those who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter!
One little note I want to remind you guys about that little scene there is that when Cullen says, you have to go through me. If you are playing a mage and you have Carver and you had him join the Templars, he will then step next to Cullen and be like, and me. So you'll also hear Meredith refer to him as Sir Carver. So it's kind of a cool little thing there, just to kind of give you an idea of what to do, what's going to happen if you go that direction. Notice Meredith right here, by the way. Notice the red eyes. How now it's just kind of like really, really affecting Meredith.
Maker, your servant begs you for the strength to defeat this evil.
Yeah, now we get to see what the red lyrium can really do. Although it looks a little bugged there. Notice how other companions will now show up to help you out, like Sebastian ran out here to help us out. So did Aveline. And so did Isabella.
Not doing anything. Now you fall. There!
This thing just will not go down. They're just kind of like slowly stumbling.
Somebody order a shot in the face?
Worry about.
And that's it for Meredith.
I will not be defeated.
You may have a red lyrium sword, but it stands no chance against Frostmourne. I pretend that Hawk extends out Frostmourne to Meredith and says, "Your soul is mine." And Frostmourne just absorbs Meredith's soul into it. So take note of the difference in this scene compared to the last time we did it, where we sided with the mages, and what the Templars do. They backed up, and they let us leave. This time, however, and that is the final fate of Meredith. Showing their loyalty to Hawk.
Word of the slaughter spread quickly. The champion's name became a rallying cry for all mages. A reminder of their brutal oppression. she had shown not only what the Templars were willing to do, but that they could be defied. The circles rose up and set the world on fire. Here at home, the city all but got down on its hands and knees and begged the champion to rule.
Which she did.
The rest of us? Eventually, we all left the champion's side for one reason or another. Well, all of us except for Fenris. You still hear the stories, of course. With each telling they grow, even if, at the core, remains the truth. A new legend had been born. So that's it. That's the whole story.
Then Meredith turned on the champion. She was to blame.
Or that damned idol was. Or Anders. Take your pick.
Even so, had the champion not been there...
Then I suppose Meredith would be ruling the city still.
But the champion is not in Kirkwall any longer.
So I hear. Isn't it strange how quickly fortunes change?
I see.
So how is hearing all this going to help? You've already lost all the circles. In fact, haven't the Templars rebelled as well? I thought you decided to abandon the Chantry to hunt the mages.
Not all of us desire war, Varric. Please, if you know where the champion is, you must tell me. She is a hero. A woman that the Templars respect. Someone who was there at the beginning. The champion could stop this madness before it's too late. She may be the only one who can.
Is that what this is all about? In that case, I wish I could help you.
Just tell me one thing, then. Is the champion dead?
Oh, I doubt that.
Then you are free to go, Varric. May the Maker watch over you during the dark times ahead of us.
Same to you, Seeker. Same to you.
So, did you...
Gone. Just like the Warden.
That is no coincidence.
So, do we proceed with the original plan? Or keep looking?
It is in the Maker's hands now. We put our faith in him.
And that, my friends, was Dragon Age 2. Yeah, the Crown and Glory achievement is, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the game down. But what it fails to properly get through there is that by siding with the Templars, Hawke actually does end up becoming the new Viscount of Kirkwall. They didn't come out and actually say that. They kind of said that without actually saying those words. But they got on their knees and practically begged the champion to rule. So, that's what actually happened, is that because you sided with the Templars, they back up supporting you as becoming the new Viscount. Because even when you suggested that earlier in the game, it wasn't really a thing because Meredith wouldn't have allowed it because she was in charge of the Templars and she had their support. But now that Meredith was gone and you supported the Templars, they then supported you and had you become the new Viscount of Kirkwall. However, at this point in time, when Varric is telling that story, things are at a point where Kirkwall is not exactly the best place to stay and keep running, so Hawke has already taken off. So that is why, at this point, Varric has been, even though he wasn't the best of friends with Hawke, he wanted to help keep her location safe, just in case something like what happens at the beginning of Inquisition comes about. So, yeah. So, let's go ahead and talk a bit about Inquisition, because I'm sure some of you are eager to see that, and maybe on YouTube you'll be able to just jump right to the next playlist and be able to see how it continues there, which of course, that's kind of my intention. Now that we have actually finished this, I can be able to go ahead and head on over to Dragon Age Keep and try to set that up and try and organize that. The thing is, I'm still working on and preparing that. Like, believe it or not, I am still undecided on what exactly I want my character to be. I have been so torn and divisive on this. I have been going back and forth between playing a Kunari mage, or playing a human mage, or even not even a mage at all, because even though it actually can work out to have a mage Inquisitor side with the Templars, or recruit the Templars instead of the mages, some people may find that very strange. However, what I found is that there's actually a mage unique thing that happens during the mission where you try to save and recruit the Templars, which I thought was rather interesting. And it makes sense that that would be the case, considering what we're dealing with when that happens. You know, and I've considered not playing a mage. The thing is, I've played a warrior for 2 games in a row, and I'm not too fond of the warrior class in Inquisition. The two-handed one has a bit more oomph to it than the sword and shield one does, which is honestly boring. It was the first one I played, and I'm so glad I played a different class later on for the other playthrough, because two-handed rogue was decently fun. However, mage, in my opinion, has been probably one of the most fun classes to play in that game. I've also said that it's also really fun to play in Dragon Age 2, and at times, let's be honest, being able to actually attack your enemies from range as opposed to having to run towards your enemies to attack them can at times be rather frustrating, which is why I actually entertained the idea of playing an archer rogue instead of a dual-wielding rogue. But honestly, like, archery in Inquisition is not really seem all that appealing. It's kind of appealing in Dragon Age 2. It's something I may consider doing again if I end up replaying this game on my own with other characters, but I'm very much wanting to play a mage class. I remember having played with a mage character in Inquisition before, and I really enjoyed it. So it's something I'm very much wanting to do. What I've been divisive on is what race, because on one hand, I could play a Kunari, which adds obviously unique things to the game in terms of conversations and reactions and such. However, I'm also torn on playing as a human. And I'm not really interested in playing an elf. I know there are plenty out there who love to play elves. I'm not one of them. I've never really been fond of elves, and that's just hasn't changed. That's why I played a dwarf before. I'm more fond of dwarves than I am elves. So, even though there are some interesting and unique things for playing as an elf, and I have seen it with several different people who do play an elf in that game, it's just not really something I'm all that interested in or find all that appealing. So here's one of the main differences, though, because I've been testing this. I looked over a couple of different, one of the things I'm indecisive on is the romance, of course. The Iron Bull romance is not bad. It's just, I don't know how to put it, a little too... I'm not sure how else to put this other than a little too raunchy. It might be, I don't know. It's very adult, which at times can be, appealing. I do get the appeal. But what I like about the Cullen romance, more so than the Iron Bull, is that there's much more appeal to it, at least for me. Like, I find Cullen to be, his romance to be more appealing, in the same regard that I find Garrus's romance to be appealing for Femshep, because he's much more romantic and more of a gentleman and more sweet compared to, say, some of the others. And I think Cullen's is that way in regard compared to, say, Iron Bull's or some of the other romances in the game. But that's just me. That's kind of more of a preference thing. Here's the issue. Cullen doesn't romance you unless you are either a human or an elf. He won't romance you if you're a Kunari. So even though playing as a Kunari is very interesting, I wouldn't be able to show you the Cullen romance, and which I consider to be pretty nice. And again, don't get me wrong, the Iron Bull romance isn't bad. It's just not quite what I am wanting to show off or I'm looking for when it comes to, preferences and all that stuff. Even though at times it can be very funny and hilarious, because some of the scenes with him are actually pretty freaking funny. Especially when it involves some of the other characters, like walking in on you, and it gets very, very, very funny. And of course, Freddie Prinze Jr. does a great job playing Iron Bull. He's Freddie Prinze Jr., he's awesome. At the same time, even as cool as it would be to show Kunari, because it's one of the more unique things, it's the first time we ever in the series get to actually play as a Kunari. And it does provide unique things. But then again, also playing as a human provides interesting, unique things, especially a human mage, because you then get to be someone who is from a specific country in a specific circle. So then you have unique dialogue and stuff in the case of that. And just playing as a mage alone provides unique stuff, as opposed to just playing as a... If you're playing as a human warrior or a human rogue, you don't really get that many unique things, like dialogue stuff. But if you're playing as a human mage, then you get extra unique things as well. Plus, of course, that whole conflict provides that kind of interesting perspective with certain kinds of discussions, since they will, of course, refer to those things. I mentioned how in the original playthrough I did for Nicholas Bolton. That's who that is. That's who Male Hawk is. So I keep forgetting this gentleman's name, but I do like him as a voice actor. And of course, there's the voice acting cast. There's Gideon Emery. Oh, hey, look at that. Carver and I share the same, his actor and I share the same first name. How about that? But, my name. And Brian Bloom. Gosh, I love Brian Bloom. He's awesome. Robin Atkindowns. Yep, I heard his voice. I knew he was in there. He has such a distinctive voice to pick up on. But, gosh, I actually kind of lost track of what I was saying. I mentioned how in my original run in Dragon Age 2, playing as a mage provides some unique perspective because of how it tries to bring the conflict of the mage and Templars to the forefront, and you as a mage have obviously an investment in that. The same can be said, obviously, for Inquisition, because it is quite a focal point, the conflict between the mages and Templars in Inquisition, even though it's not the main thing, obviously, that's happening. It's one of the main things that's happening, but not the main thing. So, playing as a mage with that, because of that conflict, provides some interesting perspective, regardless of what race you are. Obviously, you can't play a dwarven mage, but if you're a Kunari mage, a elven or human mage, it provides different types of dialogue and such because of your different backstory. Regardless of okay, let me start it again. When you play as a mage, you get a different backstory based on what race you choose. So, a human mage backstory for Inquisition will have a different one than an elven mage or a Kunari mage, or as we learned in this game, as they are called, Cerebos. So, we're not playing an actual Cerebos in Inquisition, because remember, we may be playing the Kunari race, but we're not with the Kunari. We're actually a Tal Vashoth. So we may have the horns, but we're not actually with the Kunari or the Qun. Now, I've been in my experimenting run, I have seen some dialogue, like when you're talking with Iron Bull, on whether or not you would actually want to be a part of the Qun and the Kunari. Because it's rather interesting, the backstory that your Kunari character actually was found by a couple of humans and was raised by those humans. So she was never, or he, depending on which you choose, was never a part of that and never got to experience that or learn that. You may have been that race with the horns and everything, but you weren't brought up with that whole thing. And it gets some interesting discussion stuff with Iron Bull when you first meet him, which is one of the reasons why I want to be able to play that. It's just, once again, it's like, if I could have maybe there's and I don't know, maybe it's possible someone will make a mod for this, and that's something else I should say. I don't know when I'm going to do the playthrough for Inquisition, like how soon it's going to be. It could be a while because I'm still experimenting. The game on my current machine is still having some issues. I've been trying to see if maybe upgrading my graphics card would be enough to fix the issue that I've been having, because you guys noticed even when we were doing the DLC Mark of the Assassin, when we were outdoors amongst the trees and such, we had those frame rate drops. It was kind of lagging and staggering. That was on my end as well, because it just seems to happen on this machine that anytime I go to an outdoor environment like with trees and grass and all that, it just kind of causes the game to stutter on my machine. And as you guys know, there's the hinterlands in Inquisition, so there would be quite a bit of stuttering on my machine in that game. But I guess what I'm also, like, if I could be able to play as a Kunari mage who could also romance Cullen, there wouldn't be any conflict. I could just go ahead and do that. So even though I wouldn't mind playing a human mage to show you guys their Cullen romance, I would ideally want to play as a Kunari mage because I want to show you some of the unique stuff you get while playing as a Kunari. Now, of course, that also leads to, well, I mean, the option of maybe I don't have to play as a mage, but there's really no reason to, because it's that whole romance thing that's an issue, you know? I don't know. It's something I'm still looking into and trying to figure out and decide on. It's still something I'm debating on myself. If you guys want to chime in on what you would like to see for the playthrough, feel free to share in the comments. Would you like to see me play as a Kunari mage? And I would just figure out and decide whether or not to do the Iron Bull romance. Would you want to see the human mage and see the Cullen romance? Would you want to see something else? Even though those are really kind of the two that I'm very set on. I'm playing a mage and either as a human or as a Kunari. Feel free to share in the comments. So, yeah. I don't know when the Inquisition playthrough is going to be happening. It could be a while before this part goes up because I'm recording this pretty far ahead on when before it gets uploaded to YouTube. It's going to be a while before this part gets uploaded to YouTube. So, but the more feedback I get from you guys, the better it may help me try and decide. I may also find and discover some mods that could help solve this issue. Like, there are some mods coming out for Mass Effect Legendary Edition that, if that was made for Inquisition, that would also help solve some of the issues. Maybe it's there and I just haven't found it yet. I don't know. It's something I'm going to do some investigation and looking into to see how it's going to work. I've already found plenty of other mods to make Inquisition a much more fun, quicker, less grindy experience than it was before, because that was part of my big problem with Inquisition, was how grindy it was in terms of having to go around and get stuff. Fortunately, I have found mods that have made that much less of an issue and much less painful to deal with. So that's something that you can probably look forward to, or to have me show off some mods for Inquisition. I'm still working on the final order and deciding the final ones. More are getting updated and added even to this day, which is great. It gives me more flexibility and options to work with. So hopefully that will be just as much fun and entertaining to make as well as for you to watch as the original was. Some of you chimed in and let me know how much you enjoyed my first Inquisition run with Thorix, the Dwarven Rogue, and that was fun to make, but you also let me know how much you enjoyed watching that, and I appreciate that a lot. It means a great deal to me to know that that was entertaining for you to watch. And I hope that when we get around to doing Inquisition again, that this next playthrough will be. And I hope this one was also entertaining for you guys to see some alternate things that could happen compared to the first time I did this. Maybe there are those of you that have never done a Templar run in these Dragon Age games, or done some of the other choices that I did. Having your sibling join either the Circle or the Templar. Stuff like that. So I hope it's been entertaining for you guys, and I hope you guys will stick around for Inquisition. I hope you enjoyed this alternate playthrough of Dragon Age 2 with mods, and I will see you guys next time.